I'm going to show you how to fix a Sony TV with a 4-blink error code. This one is an XR-77A80J, so if you have a different model number, this repair may not work for you. When I power it on, I do get a click from the power supply. I now get my white standby light to appear, and a couple seconds later, I do get my red blinking light. So it just blinked 4 times. Let's wait for another rotation. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our next step is let's open it up and find out what's causing this. According to Sony's service manual, the 4-blink is usually caused by a defective backlight or defective LED strips. Now this one is an OLED model, so the LEDs are embedded in the screen. The other cause could be the LED driver board is defective, which is going to be on our power supply, so that's what we're going to check out next since we cannot replace the screen. This is our power supply board, and more specifically, this is the LED driver portion of the power supply. Now the power supply does provide power to our T-Con, which in turn provides power to the LEDs. The first thing we're going to check is to make sure that there are no shorts and that the correct output voltage is being provided from this area of the board. Before I do any sort of multimeter checks, I am going to want to discharge the power supply. Okay. And now it should be safe to do short checks. I'm going to start by checking the transistors over here using our multimeter in beep mode. When we have a short, we get a beep. So I'm going to use my black lead to go to the middle pin and the red lead to the outer pins. And it looks like we do have a short here. Let's try the other side. And we also have a short. Let's check out this transistor now. Also shorted. And on this side, no short. Okay, that does mean that we will have to replace these. Let's check out other parts of the board. I have 2 more transistors over here, so we'll do the same thing. And okay, never mind. I did get a quick beep, but it is no longer shorted. So the resistance is climbing. It could have been some residual electricity. Only these 2 are shorted. Before we take a closer look at the power supply on our workbench, if you have found the video helpful or useful so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. My first step is to remove those 2 shorted transistors out of circuit, and then we will recheck for shorts. All right, I'm gonna slightly scooch these away from the heatsink so that when I desolder them from the backside, I don't get heat transfer into the heatsink. I'm gonna add a little bit of solder first to the joint. I want to make sure I get a nice smooth flow. And then we're going to use our desoldering pump. Now this pad over here is fairly large and it's shared with the transformer, so I'm probably going to need a little extra heat to help desolder it. And the same goes for this one. It's also on a fairly large pad. So that first joint cleaned up pretty nicely, but the second and third did not. We're going to try and use the desolder wick to finish that off. Try to get that last leg desoldered. I'm really not having much luck with it, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add more solder. I'm using my hand on the other side, and I'm going to try to desolder from the top and just wiggle it out as the solder melts. I'm having a bit of a hard time here. There we go. All right, so there's our first guy. And this one feels like it's a little bit easier to desolder, but I am still having a bit of a hard time. Okay, it looks like those 2 legs are good, free and clear. And this last one is the one that has that shared pad with the transformer. So I know this one's going to give me a little bit of a harder time. Alright, same thing's going on. I can't seem to desolder it, so I'm just going to add some more solder again, and we're just going to pull it through while melting it. And I'm just using needle nose pliers, and there we go. That's our second guy. And I'm going to try to see if I can clear up that hole now that the transistor's out of circuit. Yep, so let's do the same over here. Not so much. Oh, this one's really giving me a hard time. All right, well, we'll deal with that here in a minute. So what I'd like to do next is we're gonna go back to our beep mode and see if we still have a short. So again, negative lead on the middle pin. Oh, and our short is gone. Let's go to the other leg, open. Let's check this one out. 145 ohms and rising. Let's check this one out. Seems open. Let's go to just regular resistance mode. 333 kilo ohms. And this one's 200, 240, 280, 290, 300 and rising. So it does look to me that we did get rid of our short. Now, one way to confirm this is to also check our transistors now that they are out of circuit. And let's go back to beep mode. And we, sure enough, have a short. And another short. Now this one I did break the middle pin by accident. No short and no short. So only one of the two transistors is actually shorted, not both. To replace these transistors, I'm gonna need to make sure I have removed all of the solder out of the joints here. So I'm actually gonna add more solder first. And I'm gonna have to use, I think, the help of my hot air. And what I'm gonna do is just heat up that pad. I think what's going on is I'm unable to solder it properly because it's such a large pad. It's just taking away all of the heats. So I'm gonna be preheating it with my hot air and the iron at the same time. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and give the desolder pump another go. Ah, that looks better, but it's not quite there. Let's try adding just a tiny little bit more. There we go, that worked. We're gonna use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip. We're gonna remove the old thermal paste. So the middle pin is forward a little. So we're just gonna use the needle nose pliers and bend it. And we're gonna go ahead and add some thermal paste on the back of our new transistors. All right, now we are gonna have to lift the board up a little bit to be able to push the transistors through so that they match up with the screw holes. If you're interested in sending your power supply in for repair, we do offer a flat rate mail-in service with a 1-year warranty, and we'll have links in the video description down below. We'll do one final check, again in beep mode, and we no longer have our short. All right, perfect. All right, we have our power supply back into our TV. Let's give in some power and turn it on and see what we get. All right, our white light is turning on. And I'm not seeing our 4-blink code, but I'm also not seeing picture on screen. Let's give it another second. There we go, and we have a successful repair. We no longer have our 4-blink error code. Our backlight is turning on as it should. Again, this is gonna be very specific to only this model, which again is gonna be the XR-77A80J. If you found the video helpful or useful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.